Worlds have been ending in the Marvel multiverse. How will they survive? Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. An event has been building for quite some time in Marvel, an event known as the Secret War. But will it happen? What's gonna happen with the end of the world? People have been trying to survive. The Illuminati's been trying to stop the end of the world for quite some time now, but they can't seem to do it, so the Cabal got involved, and universes have been smashing everywhere, and Captain America has been fighting Iron Man. Can anyone stop the end of the world? Or is it doomed?
Okay, listen up. I'm Valeria Richards, and I'm the daughter of Reed and Sue Richards, and I don't like to get dramatic. The world is ending in 95 hours, and we've built a ship to save as many people as we can. A life raft. One of the children from the Future Foundation chimes in. So the world's just gonna end and we're gonna run? That's the brilliant plan? Never mind the fact that this thing can only seat like 60 people. And Franklin Richards then chimes in. You don't get it, Alex. They tried. Some of the greatest minds in the universe came together to form the Illuminati. Captain America, Black Bolt, Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, Namor, and Reed Richards. They discovered that multiple universes were smashing into each other and destroying each other, so they tried to save everyone. At first, they tried to use the Infinity Gauntlet, but that failed along with every other answer they came up with. Till eventually, the only answer was destroying worlds. But this was too much for the great men to deal with, and they all broke and the Illuminati splintered. But as each of them prepared for the end of the world in their own way, the Cabal formed, led by Namor, the only hero that was willing to do what was needed to stop the universe from ending. As more heroes learned of the universe ending, everything turned upside down and everyone started fighting and lines were drawn in the sand. But in the end, none of it was enough. The kids all went back to work trying to solve the answer to the end of the world themselves. And 4 days passed, leading to the next incursion, the next time two worlds would smash together. The end of the world. But is it the end of the world? Who's been pulling the strings of this event, and why did this event even happen? The whole thing is a plan from the Beyonders, a master experiment to see if they can plan the end of the universe. But Dr. Doom, of all people, learned of this, and he learned of their plan to use Reese, the Molecule Man, of each universe as a bomb to destroy each world. And he stopped it by destroying the world himself. The reason the worlds have been colliding is because he's been ending them earlier than the Beyonders could. Because isn't it worth saving something if you can't save everything? And he now stands before the Beyonders, forcing the final worlds to collide. Marvel 616 and the Ultimate Universe. While he stands before the Beyonders, facing off with beings capable of creating and destroying universes, all of our heroes are attempting to battle against each other, each trying to destroy the other's world to save their own. And while this battle is happening and Dr. Doom is standing before the Beyonders with Doctor Strange, Reed is loading up whoever he can into the life raft in an attempt to save what he can. No one knows what to do. These enemies look like they're friends, but they can't be. They're attacking each other. The world is literally ending, and there is death and destruction everywhere. Everyone is attempting drastic measures to save their own world, from Spider-Man swinging around and saving who he can, to the Guardians of the Galaxy landing to join in, but one man decides to go to the extreme. Cyclops finds where the Phoenix Force is being kept, and he takes it into himself again. It's power that he hasn't felt since the Avengers vs. X-Men event, but it's something that he knows he can use to save the world. While this is going on, Miles Morales, otherwise known as the Ultimate Spider-Man, is crawling around the outside of the Baxter building as Reed is preparing to launch it by getting a hero known as Manifold into the ship. This can't be the end, but if it is, they're going to save who they can. Manifold begins teleporting whoever he can onto the ship as the world is literally dying around everyone, and he grabs Thor, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, and Peter Quill off of the planet's surface, and he even has the power to grab Phoenix Force Cyclops. They are all now in the life raft with Reed, and the world begins to end around all of them. Nothing but the white light of creation remains. The ship takes heavy damage as it takes off, and the back end gets cut off. Reed is then forced to watch as Sue, Johnny, and the Thing and his kids all fall away. They fall into the nothingness around them. He reaches out for them, but without the protective bubble of the ship, the end of everything absorbs them. But is this the end? No, because Doom has managed to do something that no one thought possible. He saved what he could from the multiverse. Everything did end. And in its wake, Doom made his new world. A world you will not recognize. A world separated by a mighty wall, with worlds of the multiverse changed into sections of this world. This place is called the Battle World, and its inhabitants are woefully unaware of the changes that Doom has created in this world. All of them worship God Doom, their savior and their ruler. There are many changes to the norm that you will notice as we go through our story, but there are two individuals that managed to retain their memories from the world before. One of them is Doctor Strange, now the sheriff of God Doom's world, and the other is God Doom himself. Thor has been changed into a core of Thors. All of the hammers from across the multiverse are now used as a peacekeeping force. And to make matters more interesting, Doctor Strange receives a report report of a breach in the battle world, a ship that has crash landed onto this world when they shouldn't even have ships. So he sends his Thor Corps to examine it, to contain the situation and return it to him. Two of the Thors went to examine the ship, and as they grew closer, the hatch opened, and a spear flew out of the ship into the Elder Thor. He tells his young comrade to run, fly off, and tell the sheriff that they have found death in this ship, just as another spear goes through his head. Out of the ship steps the Cabal. Thanos, Maximus the Mad, Black Swan, Namor, Proxima, Terex, Corvus Glaive, and the Maker. The Maker is the interesting one though. He is actually the Reed Richards of the Ultimate Universe, but in a universe where he's gone mad. He made his own life raft, and he saved some of the greatest evils in the Marvel Universe. So where is the hero's life raft? Thanos steps forward and grabs one of the locals. Where are we? We call this place Battle World. Word gets back to Strange and he informs Doom of the problem before heading to the site of the crashed craft. He walks onto the site of the craft and he sees the fallen Thor, and he's highly displeased. He uses the powers granted to him, and he realizes that they are no longer alone in this place that has been created. He immediately sends the Thor Corps out to investigate the situation, and they take to the skies and they begin to look while Strange turns back to the ship. Don't make me come in there. That's when Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man, pokes his head out. Okay, you got me. Look, I have no idea what's going on, but the last thing I remember was sneaking onto, you've been on the ship the entire time? Yeah, like I said, it wasn't my ship. I have no idea who these guys are. All I know is I snuck in trying to figure out what these guys, bad guys, basically, who dresses like that, were doing in the giant dome. Because, like, another world appeared in the sky and, wait, are you telling me you remember before? Meanwhile, back at Castle Doom, God Doom spends a moment with his family. His wife Sue is going on about how she misses her brother Johnny. Ever since he got changed into the son of this world, she has missed him. But he was a rebel, and she accepts his fate. While their children, Franklin and Valeria, play with Galactus, their giant toy. Sue then goes on to express that Doom should go down among his people. He shouldn't separate himself like this. And then she removes his mask to see his disfigured face, the one thing he couldn't heal. All this power, and he is still damaged. Back with Doctor Strange, the Thor, and Miles, Strange wants to show Miles something. Something he found a long time ago and he's kept hidden from God Doom. Something that he had no idea what it was until now. He walks them to another life raft, and using the power of the Thor, he opens the door to it. The door lowers and Star-Lord asks, "Are we there yet?" Cause it doesn't look like we're there yet. And standing with him in the doorway is Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, and Thor. Miles runs over. "Peter, is that you?" "Miles? Yeah." "No way. How are you here?" But Captain Marvel has a better question. How are any of us here? The last thing I remember was the ending, and now you're here, Doctor Strange? A man who disappeared months ago? What's going on, Steven? Perplexed, Strange answers. That depends on your answer to the question of worlds. Are you really my Captain Marvel, or are you another version of Carol that I once knew? Better put, am I who you think I am? Basically, are you the only ones that survived? No, there are a few more of us, and she points to Cyclops, now possessed by the Phoenix, and Black Panther, and Reed Richards. Star-Lord interrupts their reunion, asking the million-dollar question though. Where are we? I have to warn you, the situation is very complicated. You've been in stasis for 8 years. Everything died in that moment of death, but God made a new world, this one, constructed out of the remnants off of the incursion points. Some of our Earth remains, but most of it does not. No one remembers the world from before. Who is this God you speak of? Reed asks. Doom, Reed. It's Victor Von Doom. He saved us all. Everyone gets a shocked look on their face. Meanwhile, across the world, the Thor Corps has found the Cabal, and they want answers right this second. And this is part 1 to the Secret Wars saga. Now, honestly, this story is huge, containing a lot of double-sized issues, and it probably would have been a massive video that we couldn't have gotten out in a single sitting, so we broke it up this way. I hope you guys enjoy, and join us next time for the next part of the Secret Wars saga.